What is up, guys? Welcome back to the Hardcore Fab Shop. On today's video, I'm going to be back to work on Old Crow. I've got to try to get this whole grill scenario, hood tilting thing all figured out. And I've got a whole bunch of loose ends that I need to get all tied up. So I'm going to knock those out first. I'm going to go through it pretty quickly, so don't skip ahead because you'll probably miss something. So one of the first things that I need to address is the fact that I don't have any handle or any way to grab a hold of this cover and lift it up. Now, with the way the fuel cell was in there and all the other stuff we crammed in here, I couldn't get the shocks at an angle where they would actually push the cover up all the time. To get it up, I got to pull up on a pick or something like that. And then once it gets up there to a certain height, and it's not 40 degrees in the shop, they will slowly go up and hold. So yeah, handle right here. So for a handle, I came up with a wrench. Now, I know everybody uses wrenches and that's kind of overdone. And normally I wouldn't have chosen a wrench just for that reason. But this one's actually pretty cool. It kind of almost has like a bird foot to it looking type thing or something. It's a really unique wrench. I have absolutely no idea what it's for. If any of you guys know, feel free to drop a comment down below and let me know. And just like that, we officially got a handle. So my next thing to do is to fill this little gap. Unfortunately, my brake is not as wide as the back of the bed. So I'm gonna have to do that one in two pieces. So the next thing I want to take care of is this 1980s gray primer. I just can't stand gray primer for some reason, especially on a truck like this. This truck should never have had gray primer on it, ever. So that has got to go. I've got to take care of that right now because the lid here, I'm about to take off and take over to my buddy Brady, and he is going to do some cool paint work on it for us. That's what I was alluding to in a few videos back about I had some cool ideas for some stuff to do on here. So I've got to do that now so that everything kind of flows together and all that, so when it comes back, it'll all match. Well, this spot right here is what I was going for to try to make that look like. So I'll wipe all the dirt off of this thing and we will see how close I got. So this is what our natural patina looks like on the door and on the roof. And here is what I sprayed on there. Kind of see it a little bit there. I don't think for a rattle can and not too awful much time, it looks too bad. I'm pretty happy with it. So now I think I'm gonna blast this thing with a heater for a little while, get her good and cooked on, then I'm gonna pull it off, flip it over, and throw some bed liner on this thing, and then I think it'll be ready to go to Brady. Alright, so moving forward here, this is kind of what I've got going on with the grill right now. I decided to make it get away from the 50 Chevy pickup look. I would just need to add more bars to it. And I've also kicked them a little bit in line with the hood. You can kind of see there, it's got a little bit of that same angle as the front of the hood does. I think if I got that kind of flowing all the way down through there, that's going to help out a lot as well. So that's kind of change it up a little bit. I need to cut out a couple more pieces there, and I need to start trying to figure out exactly how I'm going to mount those to that square tubing that the radiator is mounted to. And in that, somewhere in there, I've also got to build in some kind of a hinge and be able to attach the hood somehow. Alright, so it's been a couple days and I've been thinking about it, and what I needed to do here is start with bracing up the front of this hood. So I've got this piece stuck in here. That's going to be kind of the base to the way this thing is going to start to mount up. I'm going to need to attach something to this yet, and I probably need to come back in here somewhere with some other bracing as well. This is just going to be the start. The other thing that I got to incorporate into all of this stuff is a spot here on the side of the hood to mount some lights. These are my lights that I'm going to use. They are actually off of a 30s model Chevy or so, somewhere in that neighborhood. I'm going to not use these mounts here. I'll probably end up sitting those on eBay or something like that for sale. Get those mounts off of there and figure out some way to mount that on there. All of this crammed into one spot is kind of starting to make my brain hurt a little bit. Alright, so I've got a crazy amount of time into thinking about this thing right now. I've got it set up now finally though where I want it. To begin with, I had to set this body line to where it would actually match with the cab. So, got that done. I welded in some extra plates in here that's actually got the hood held up tight against the square tubing. That's kind of got it pinched in there right now. They're just a little bit too big. So it was perfect to be able to hold the hood up. Now I've taken and I've drew up and made this bracket. This bracket is going to weld directly here onto the side of the square tubing. And it's got a hole in it right there for a 3/4 inch bolt. And it matches this one. So this one will be, that one will go on the square tubing. This one will go here on the outside of it. I'll be able to weld some of the grill pieces in through here, across there, and that will all be permanent to the chassis. And then the rest of the grill pieces will be welded in here on this piece, and they will go in here and be tilting with the hood when the hood tilts. It's got this shape to it here, not only to make the front of the grill kind of stick out a little bit at the bottom, but also to clear the radiator. Because the radiator does not sit straight up and down, it actually has a slight tilt to it as well. So we had to do that to make sure the radiator would be able to go in there later. Let's see, what else? I'm also going to put some of these in here at the top and kind of gusset all that together so that actually adds a little bit more strength to the top of this bracket. And I think that's about it. I think I'm ready to actually stick all this stuff together. So cross my fingers, hopefully it'll work. Sweet! Hell yeah, that's freaking awesome right there. Plenty of room to work on everything. Hood stays up on its own. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. I'm digging it. So now that we know our hood can tilt forward and shut, I'm going to start laying in all these pieces here to the grill. I've got my highly technical measuring device here. I'm going to put it in there. Cut them all to length and start tacking them in. Well, our grill's starting to come together, starting to look pretty good, so I'm gonna pop some holes in the hood here and start mounting our lights. kind of digging on the grill. The headlights, though, are just not working for me. I'm going to have to figure out something different there. That's just not going to work. So, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I'll work on that next week, though, try to figure out something. And I guess if you guys got any suggestions, comment down below, let me know. I think these are probably too big. I think that's probably my biggest thing with them. They look great from the side. I guess I should get you guys a side view of it so you can see that real quick. I think they're just too big from the front, so maybe if I go with a smaller one or something, I don't know. Let me know what your guys' thoughts are. And I guess with that, that's about all I got for this video. So I'll see you next time.